Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. We are bringing back David, the guy who has saved an extra or has given $4.8 million in extra depreciation to one rental at a time family. That is a huge number. So thank you for that.
My pleasure. I love doing it.
I bet. So you've collected 3, 4, 5 questions from one rental at a time fans. I always just want to put the question out. We'll rap about it. We'll put it on blast so others, because if one person asks, others have it. So David, what's the first question you've got? And we'll just run through them together.
First question is, if this reduces my net income by a big depreciation expense, is that going to affect my ability to borrow in the future? Which is a great question.
Yeah.
You need to maintain your ability to borrow.
Absolutely.
Actually, no, it won't affect it at all because it's just a depreciation. They're looking at your gross income, not your net income, because they really don't care if you take mileage or whatever off.
Yeah. So what I would tell you as an accountant, as somebody who was in that space for a long time, is people are going to hear this and not know what it means, but we will get there. Depreciation is a non-cash expense. What that means for a bank looking at your income statement or your business or whatever it is, they back it out, right? So you took $50,000 in depreciation. It's a non-cash expense. They will simply add that back because they know you had that income, right? Depreciation is a legal and encouraged, actually it's required thing to do on the tax code. Yeah, most people are going to, it's a very simple calculation. It's how folks like Anna Kelly, who is our Wednesday guest, can have zero income and still get loans because they back out her hundreds and hundreds of thousands in depreciation. It's like, oh, look at that. It's a non-cash expense. So that's what I would tell someone.
I actually advise people, if they're looking to borrow on a property, get a cost segregation estimate done on that property and show it to the loan officer. Because that means you're going to have more equity in that property once you buy it, and they're going to love that.
Yeah,
they know about cost segregation. I get a lot of referrals from people who do financing too.
I'm sure. Yeah. All right. So that's borrowing. Yep. I don't think it would impact it. So that's number one.
No negative impact there. I've been asked a couple of times, will this work for flips? If you're not going to hold the property for, this is kind of my rule of thumb, if you don't hold the property for at least 3 years, it's probably not a good candidate for a cost segregation study because there will be recapture as soon as you sell it, unless you want to consider it a 1 or 2 year interest-free loan from the government, in which case that's fine.
Yeah. So again, if you're one rental at a time follower and your average hold time is 6 to 9 months on a flip, yes, technically you could do it, if it flips a calendar year, but you don't want the headache. You don't want that depreciation recapture. Again, I talked to a CPA about it last week. It's a thing. And no, if you're going to be an active investor, which I consider flippers, no. But if you're going to flip 3, keep 1, do it on the keep. Don't do it on the flips. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree. I would tend to agree. 3 years is kind of the rule of thumb that I use.
Okay, cool. All right.
I've also been asked by a number of people, well, doesn't it all work out over time? I mean, in 27 and a half years, I'm going to depreciate it all anyway. Why do I need to accelerate the depreciation?
Yes.
That all boils down to the time value of money.
Right.
If I'm going to give you $1 million, do you want it, broken up over the next 27 and a half years, or would you prefer it all right now?
Right.
Look at people who win the lottery. Most of them take the cash option because they realize that when they get that cash, they can actually put it to work for them and make a whole lot more cash out of it.
Yeah.
By the time they would have gotten it in the end anyway. So
yeah, what I would tell you here again, because I talk to lots of people, some of you make great income and you're just truly passive investors. Hey, if you don't want to spend the 2, 3, 5, 10, whatever grand it is for you for the survey, and you just want to depreciate over 27 and a half, by all means. That's what I did for the first, 18 years, because this didn't exist as I was building my portfolio. But again, I think it's there. Again, I will be doing it, but yes, you do not depreciate extra. You don't take 150 grand and depreciate 180 grand. You do. It's simple math, right? Again, that's why one of the things you'll get on the bid or the proposal is you'll see a chart. It says, hey, if you do 27 and a half, this is how much it is. And if you do bonus depreciation and cost seg, you'll get a big kick year one. And then, oh, by the way, the line is smaller because again, you're depreciating to the same number. So mathematically, it is the same, but it is the time value of money. Do you want it more now or a little bit over longer time? So,
and you will still get some depreciation for the full 27.
Oh, absolutely.
Anyway, because all of the structural components of the building are required to be, they're not accelerated.
Yeah, I'll say this so you're not on the hook. I would tell somebody, just roughly speaking, 60% of your building will end up over 27 and a half, 30 to 40% will be in that under 15. My words, not yours, so you're not on the hook. But yeah, a lot of the building will still be depreciated over 27 and a half. That's okay.
Yep.
All right.
A number of people have asked me, does it need to be done in the first year of purchase?
Oh, there you go.
It does not. You can go back, I'd say, go back 15 years. Any property purchased within the last 15 years is a good candidate, as long as it meets the other criteria, for cost segregation. If it was purchased after September the 27th of 2017, which is when the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act came into play, then it's a candidate for 100% bonus depreciation, which is even better.
Yeah.
So if you've been holding property since 2011, 2015, whatever, still worth looking at cost segregation on that, because you're still going to get a lot of extra deduction.
Again, it doesn't cost them anything to get a proposal, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's free, my favorite price.
Yeah, free is my favorite. I love that. Free is my favorite price. Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. Again, folks, if you are buying buildings, again, remember the price point. If you're just buying 50K houses, don't bother. But if you did a purchase after September of 2017, definitely, because that bonus depreciation is very, very nice. Very nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Yes, yes.
Yep. I've had people ask me, is it possible to do a cost segregation study on a property that I haven't bought or built yet?
No, that's creative. I don't even own it yet, but
I get what they're asking. They're planning on purchasing it, or the closing's off for a while.
Oh, okay.
Can I run the cost seg study starting now?
Oh, okay.
You can't. However, you can do the estimate ahead of the purchase. And I recommend that in some cases, because like I say, it's worth taking that estimate, showing it to the loan officer. That's a very, very positive thing. And some people who are selling real estate will have me run estimates on the building so they can tell their potential client, hey, if you work with me, I'll introduce you to this guy who can save you all this money on your taxes once you buy the property.
Oh, I like it. That's creative.
I call it making the real estate person more sticky.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sticky. Very cool.
Being sticky. And then the last one is it worth doing it if I'm just a passive investor? You know, the guy who has a W-2 job and has 3 or 4 properties, maybe 10 or 12 properties, whatever, but they don't qualify as a real estate professional with the IRS. Yes, it's worth doing for a number of different reasons. And it depends. If you're not paying any taxes and you don't plan on paying any taxes, yeah, maybe not. However, I've talked to a lot of people who say, yeah, but I keep growing my portfolio and my passive income is growing like crazy. And I know in the next couple of years, I'm going to start owing some big taxes. Do the cost segregation now, take advantage of the bonus depreciation. It becomes a suspended loss if you can't take it against your passive income. And you can take it in future years until it's all completely used up, or you sell the property, or you 1031 the property, at which time it's all in play.
Yeah, I want people to realize this. This is something that I was able to do in my portfolio when I had a W-2, which was over the 150 amount. So again, I had these carry forward losses. I've told everybody that would listen. At one time, I had over $1 million in carry forward loss. What I don't say usually is that is tied to a property, right? The $1 million is divided up over a big portfolio. Each property added up was that million. So what happened is, let's say I bought a building, a 10-unit building, bought it cheap, invested a bunch of money, and had losses. And then, oh, by the way, rents doubled. Then I go ahead and I refi the building and the interest rate gets cut in half. Suddenly I am making thousands of dollars a month in real cash flow that normally would be taxable. I have this thing called carry forward loss that makes it all go bye-bye. So again, these are things that you can use as a piggy bank in the future. And what have we seen this year? Lower rates, lower interest, which is a deduction, and raising rents. So a lot of us are building portfolios that are going to cash flow monsters. and you want a carry forward loss in that case. So it saved my butt several times.
Absolutely, you do.
Yeah. So
those
folks,
are the big questions so far. I'm sure we'll have more coming up, but
I
at
hope
least
so.
we'll take care of those now.
So folks, again, if you have bought a property after 2017 over $150,000, I would ask you to reach out to David via text. And how you want them to do that?
770-367-8091.
Yep, he'll send you a link to schedule a time. It's very quick. Again, watch video one from today. I walked you through my specific process as we're getting close to the end here. So David, thank you very much. One more time, what's the number?
770-367-8091 to save yourself a lot of money.
Yeah, watch video too, folks. 4.8 million in extra depreciation. Pretty crazy. Go one rental at a time. Thanks, David.
My pleasure. See you.